Hello, lovely people. This is your news anchor Jyasthika from Hosla Radio, and you're listening to Hosla Varta, the real news of society. Here's your 10-minute roundup of the daily news, fresh, reliable, and relevant across global events, India updates, the economy, sports, and environmental progress. Now, starting up with some international news. Global oil markets rally amid Middle East pause. A US brokered ceasefire between Israel and Iran triggered a sharp 12% slump in Brent crude prices, the largest weekly drop since early 2023, with oil now stabilizing around $66 to $68 per barrel. Analysts at Goldman Sachs estimate only a 4% chance of actual supply disruption via the Strait of Hormuz. Meanwhile, global equity markets including the S&P 500 and Nasdaq surged to record highs on the back of easing geopolitical fears and optimism over trade dynamics. Now, moving on to some national news. Monsoon covers entire India ahead of schedule. According to the IMD, the monsoon advanced rapidly on June 26, bringing rainfall coverage across all states more than a week earlier than the usual July 8 target. Farmers in Rajasthan, Haryana, UP, and Delhi can now start sowing summer crops like rice, corn, cotton, and soybeans, vital for India's agri-centric economy. India tops growth yet faces vulnerabilities. A Reuters poll highlighted that India remains among the fastest growing major economies in 2025. Yet, slower export demand, commodity volatility, and subdued investment could slow momentum. The World Bank noted India's financial year 25 GDP grew by 6.5%, the slowest pace since post-pandemic times, with a downward revision to 6.3% for financial year 26 by IMF. International Olympic Committee freezes 2036 Olympic bid. The International Olympic Committee has paused the host election, placing India's bid for the 2036 Olympic Games on hold. IOC President Kirsty Coventry indicated a review of selection procedures, emphasizing transparency and global equity in future bidding cycles. Now, moving on to some economical news. Ceasefire sparks risk on investor mode. The global stock indices climbed sharply as oil prices fell, with investors shifting into growth assets amid the Israel-Iran ceasefire. In India, easing fuel costs have provided short-term relief, but the RBI remains cautious on rate cuts. Analysts warn that global inflation, climate challenges, and trade tensions might still dampen growth, even if Indian markets continue accelerating ahead of global peers. Now, moving on to some sports news. Women's T20I, India versus England. India crushed England by commanding 97 runs in the first T20I at Trent Bridge. Smriti Mandhana scored an elegant 112 runs off 62 balls, marking her maiden T20I century. Debutante Sri Charani shone with 412, the best bowling figures by an Indian woman in T20Is. England offered resistance through the Nat skipper Brunt's 66, but ultimately crumbled to 113 all out. Shefali Verma also returned to the side, citing inspiration from Sachin, backing the team's confidence after Mandhana's explosive innings. Now, some domestic news. Operation Sindoor Cup in Kanpur today marked the kick-off of the Operation Sindoor Cup, a symbolic cricket match uniting Army 11 and Parliament 11. The aim is to foster camaraderie, national unity, and sportsmanship across civic and military circles. Now we have some environmental news. Monsoon advance brings farmer relief. The hastened monsoon arrival means more than just rain. It supports crop cycles across multiple regions, reducing irrigation dependence and supporting rural incomes. Biodiversity boost. UP students clean river banks. Across Uttar Pradesh, students led riverbank cleaning drives and conducted water audits, gathering community pledges for conservation. These hands-on lessons are nurturing eco-consciousness from a young age. Local district reports, June 27. Now, I'll proceed to wrap up India's global and national news. From global peace easing oil pressure and fueling market growth to India's early monsoon enabling and agricultural surge. Our nation is experiencing positive momentum. Homegrown champions shine on the cricket field, and youthful voices lead environmental charge in classrooms and riversides. However, caution is warranted. Economic optimism must navigate vulnerabilities like weak external demand and climate unpredictability. Our Olympic dream remains alive yet awaits IOC reassessments. Still, India's journey this week reflects resilience, unity, and aspiration in the face of global dynamics. That's a wrap on today's Hosla Varta. I'm Jyasthika, encouraging you to stay curious, stay compassionate, and stay connected. And what's truly happening in India and beyond. Until next time, take care and keep hope alive.